What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology horoscope for the weekend of May 6th and the 7th of 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Hope everybody's doing well. I appreciate you all so much. Hope that the eclipse went well for you, or deeper things were understood, and moving towards really creating and building value in your life. That's what it's all about. So I hope that you're ready to be that alchemist and hopefully use that energy as we come into this weekend, because Saturday it is still going to be kind of an intense half day, as the moon will still be in Scorpio, but the intensity is getting a little diluted with the trine over to Neptune from the moon before it leaves. Definitely, even the trine to Mars, early in the morning and late last night, like there is like a softness that's trying to help us here. Our emotions are a gift, intuition's a gift, but it's just being properly discerning and knowing our own boundaries when it comes to situations, and really staying in tune and in line with what your intuition's telling you about value. And that's the biggest thing right now, and I think that we're all trying to figure out more about where we're really supposed to be investing our passion and energy. So I do think that there's a sensitivity to today that can still feel, very emotional, don't get me wrong, but something that's, a higher value system that we can all live in our life and hopefully in our individual lives and go towards and link it with a bigger purpose. I think a lot of it's about like understanding that probably that true core soul value does link with a much bigger purpose from the universe and the divine, that's kind of trying to show you how to make these transmutations and really rise up like the phoenix, because the moon is going to come into Sag today on Saturday, and it's going to sextile Pluto, so there is some like positive energy here that's kind of like coming around. I think that we want to embrace this Sag moon and be able to adapt and be, able to like go into the philosophy of the values and different places that we're putting our energy and what we need and our capacities in life. And also with Jupiter in Aries, it is about the strengthening of a positive belief system and being able to be optimistic. Even Venus and Jupiter coming off their sextile, and even the moon will be in a slight yod with Venus and Jupiter for a brief moment, not an exact one, but it's there. So this is definitely like seeing the positives through the transformations and the alchemy that's going on, maybe just at a cellular level, a psychological, a spiritual level, or a very, very physical level in our lives. Seeing the positive side, the glass is half full. We have to start embracing a positive outlook through harshness. It's very helpful to go through the depth, to go into the fire, but then to see the positive aspect of what becomes strengthened through the fire, what becomes forged, what becomes, really more ethereal through the fire too. So we're definitely coming into that energy. So I think that it's a very important day to see that passions can be used in a very empowering way if they're linked up with your soul, if they're linked up with your uniqueness. Sun is getting closer to Uranus this weekend. They're not going to conjunct until next week, but this is kind of we're coming into our liberation moment here, and I think that we're starting to see that the transformation to liberation is really when we hone in on what's real in our lives and what's real to our values, and how we can turn our life, and like I said in the lunar eclipse horoscope, the lead into gold, and to be like positive in our alchemical process and even our magical abilities to do such and to be that alchemist. So I do think there's a positivity through the intensity, and I hope that we start to really embrace that this weekend and look at the bigger picture and start to, absorb more of our surroundings, explore what, if we have to go, and explore more, this is a time to go explore the what's, the whys that maybe came up over the last couple days, and hone in on what your big truth and philosophy is that has been shown to you. Because with the Mercury retrograde, the Cazimi, just right into eclipse, lunar eclipse, like there's a lot is more obvious than sometimes we like to give it credit for, and this is like really honing in on that. And with Venus spending its last day here this Saturday in Gemini, getting ready to quincunx Pluto as well, it's quite it really is quite shaken. You know, it's kind of like James Bond, shaken, not stirred. Things are in a shaken up place so that we can find excitement in the bigger aspects that we can go towards, and knowing the capacity and really believing in ourselves and believing how, you know, really truly adaptable the human species is, and knowing that we're all capable of any kind of adaptation in any shape or form. And you know, expression can get a little ramped up. I mean, it's definitely one of those times where with Pluto and Venus in a quincunx, I mean, we could feel, and with Jupiter squaring and then those two in a sextile, like there's a weird vibe going on between the two benefics and Pluto. It's like the only way to get the gifts and to get the value is to go deep into your soul and remember that it's all within you, and to connect to that authenticity, to connect to that power, and to start using it in that kind of Pluto and Aquarius weird way that we're all still trying to figure out, but it's just so unique and special to ourselves. And it's kind of shocking that like we're finding this now. So remember that that's being found too, and I think that could be very helpful. As we come to Sunday, we are going to get Venus ingressing into Cancer, which of course is a big deal. And I think that this is good. This definitely is going to bring a level of nurturing that I think we really need, with Venus being the disposer of the North Node, which is in, of course, Taurus, and just coming off, of course, all these eclipses. Like this is like a great time to take care of ourselves, to take care of another person, to be nurturing, loving, affectionate. When we put our emotion behind anything that we want to create, and we really feel like it's there, and we especially if it has the value and it's something that just feels like it's going to bring and really start to fortify and build a foundation in our life, we're going to feel so much better. So this is like a good weekend, I think, too, especially coming into Sunday, where we really start to see the foundation. And it's quincunx Pluto, so it's kind of an intense, weird way of finding it, but it is through like self-love, self-nurturing. Take care of yourself. This is definitely a time where, like, if you need to rest, take some rest. You know, it's almost like you can't create something amazing if you're completely beat up and tired and exhausted. And very well, after all this energy, you could be absolutely exhausted. So remember to, like, take some, you know, rest on this Sunday. Do something that makes you feel cozy and happy and content with your life. Whether that's just chilling, or whether that's, you know, doing a creative project or something that's unique and special to you. It just makes sure that it's something that feels like it's really sitting right with the comforts of what your soul is trying to acquire and receive in this life. And then the moon in Sag definitely wants to expand, but it's got to go through a square to Saturn here in Sagittarius. So there is this level of like, oh geez, you know, Saturday evening coming into Sunday, like where it still always does take a little bit of effort and a little bit of work to get the expanse, to get the abundance, to see things optimistically. Not everything can just be that way. It comes down to decision with Saturn, choice. It's a loud truck. It's like way away. Our decisions that we make emotionally, all these things that we choose to believe in, our faith, you know, we have to decide to have the faith. We have to decide to transmute patterns. We have to decide that it's okay to adapt, that it's okay to expand, and really believe these things. And it can feel as if, too, that we're being tested, like, to look at things in a pessimistic approach instead of an optimistic approach. But that comes back to, like, going right back into how you're feeling, being able to nurture and uplift yourself and give yourself the nourishment that will really make you feel, you know, I think just good and here. Like, we gotta, that's part of it. Take care of yourself to expand. Have the faith. Don't let aspects of reality, and I say this all the time, but like, you gotta find comfort yourself right now. That's the biggest thing, and that's where the big growth and expansion is taking place. But hopefully this is like a day where we can look, especially Sunday, where we can look at things and be honest and be real with it, but to stop letting them get to us, but to choose to, like, look at the more higher path, the higher road, the more, you know, what's your favorite philosophy? What's your favorite belief in life? Like, who's your favorite philosopher? Like, what would they do if a situation like that came up in their life? Like, we all kind of want to start looking at things from like that perspective and seeing that there's an optimistic approach to every bit of healing or every aspect of, you know, trauma or harshness that can show up in our life. So I think that that's very important, and it's up to us to do that. And that's where Saturn's like saying, hey, you want to keep evolving spiritually, you got to keep having faith, and you got to keep being adaptable, and you got to make sure that your beliefs are adaptable too, and that you're not just one point, you know, one-sided, but that you do have your big version, but that there's a lot of different ways to get to that destination as well. Yeah, what else is going on this weekend? I don't have anything. I don't have my phone on me at the moment. Yeah, the moon's going to make really nice aspects. It's going to trine over to Chiron in Aries. So, I mean, I do think that there's like seeing the healing that we've done as individuals within ourselves, and really embracing the positive side of everything that we've alchemized. That's where it's at. This is a great weekend to take time to nurture yourself and to find the positive approach to what is your uniqueness, your value, what are you, you know, what's the core of your soul, and how can you live that physically in a more even passionate way, but passionate for that quality that you want, and to also have the empathy, you know, and the understanding of other people. And yeah, I think that this weekend is actually very positive. It's got its trivial, like, ups and downs that can show up just like any day. But overall, I think it's embracing the healing we've done, being able to let go, surrender, and to make decisions that are positively going to affect our life and help us be the creator of something really beautiful that we call life here, and that we can live day in, day out, and be satisfied with. And I think that that's very important for us all as well. Yeah, so wishing you all the best. Let's see what the tarot has to say. I just wanted to check. I wasn't looking at the screen on the camera. It got a little darker. Big cloud. It's cloudy up here in Northern California. All right, what do we got? Card number 1 is the Tower card reversed. Yeah, I think that this is a day where it's not so much about looking at the tower that may have been, you know, fallen, or the, you know, crazy changes that we might be going through, or the intensities of life, or the sudden change that could be showing up in our lives, but embracing change and realizing that it's only going to get us to the next stage in life. It's only going to get us to a more enlightened place, a better place, and to see the positive in the change instead of being frightened that the tower is falling or has fallen. Let's see the positives that we all are having changes take place in our life for a reason. What the reason is, we may not know yet, but we might be getting the insights to why. That's very possible with Sun Uranus. But you know what? Embrace the change. Let it come through. You know what I like about the Tower too? It's a 16. It's the 16th card of the Major Arcana. It's a 7. People forget how divine Tower moments are in our life. We forget. 2 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I think we want to be clear and like get our mind and our emotions on the same team, and not be so in limbo or purgatory. Like, make decisions, try things, do something that makes you feel good. Like, there's no reason to get caught at a crossroads. Try a way, pick a way. Let your intuition take you on a way. See where it goes. Don't have expectations. Let your mind and your value take you on a way. See what happens. Don't have expectations. This is like a great opportunity to merge with a more powerful essence within ourselves. Just let it go. See what happens. Do the best thing for your soul and for your life that you feel at this point in your evolution would be the best thing, and trust that it will, whether it goes exactly according to plan or not. pick a path. Don't get stuck. And another 2. Yeah, but this one's upright and it's 2 of coins. So, you know, I do think that we're all... there's a lot up in the air. There's a lot juggling. Feels like we are walking a tightrope too. This is a really cool, actually, 2 of Pentacles. It does feel like, you know, this eclipse energy, there's so much of this reality that has us feeling like we're walking a tightrope. Like, are we on land? Is this real? It is. Like, enjoy the circus. Even Venus at the end of Gemini, it can feel a little circus-like. Coming off squares to Neptune and a lunar eclipse. Embrace the show. Embrace the circus. Look at things positive. This moon in Sag is like, let's just go have some fun and do things we want to do and explore and try and learn and grow. And even making great aspects in Jupiter, Venus, like there's some really positive things here. And it's like we could sure go into a pessimistic place with the moon squaring Saturn, but I mean, is that going to make walking across this tightrope of life any easier, or should we try and at least laugh while we do it? I don't know. Just my opinion. I hope you all have a great weekend, and can't wait to see you all again on Monday. Much love. Peace.